Hello everybody, welcome back. My name is John. This is my channel, The Origin Factory. It is Thursday, June 27th, 2024. Today we're going to be talking about some news and upcoming videos for the month of July, specifically in regards to Team Associated RC10T, which is their stadium truck re-release. What else? Tamiya 959 project put up by Rob Mitchell at Need a Bigger Shed. Some Vanquish news in regards to Ripper 2 and some upcoming products by them. And also an update on our two Vanquish projects, which is our Gray Origin and Ripper number 67. But before I get to all that, first I want to thank our subscribers. You guys are awesome. Thank you for all you do. If you haven't subscribed yet, please do. That is what helps us the most right now to grow our channel and to get noticed by YouTube. And those of you who are subscribed already, if you could still continue to help by commenting, liking, and sharing, that would be greatly appreciated. So on to channel news. So first we're going to talk about Team Associated in regards to the RC10T, which is their stadium truck. And I'll pop up a picture here. If you remember back in early part of May, they put out their 40th anniversary of the original buggy, meaning the one that was made in 1987-ish, around there, 86, whatever, the gold pan, which was their first RC car, which was also my first RC car, first hobby grade RC car that I bought. I purchased mine new at a hobby store, and I still have it actually. So later in the month, around May 20th, 21st or something like that, they had a leak on their website announcing taking orders for the RC10T, which nobody was expecting. So it came to a surprise to a lot of us to have a second re-release, only a couple weeks after they just got the buggy out. So they promptly removed it from their website, and then it went back up a couple days later, and they started accepting orders. And it was I think it was exactly the same price as the buggy, which should be. There's not a whole lot of difference, but yeah. So they started taking orders, and the release date said on there the end of June. So I placed an order the first day where they were taking orders, and this week, I think it was on Monday, I got my first order update in regards to the RC10T, and it said awaiting shipping. And then just yesterday on Wednesday, I got a tracking number, and it's coming UPS from California to where I live. It's usually about 3 business days or so. So if the tracking number is produced Wednesday, Thursday, Friday, I don't think UPS counts the weekend, so maybe Monday at the earliest, probably Tuesday at the latest. But anyway, so once we get that, we will do an unboxing video immediately, and we will do a build video to follow as soon as we can get it done. So yeah, now on to Tamiya 959. So Porsche 959 was an all-wheel drive platform that they developed back in the mid-80s. And to test it out, they put it in the Paris-Dakar Rally in 1986, and they took first and second place. So it was a huge engineering achievement for them. And it wore the Rothmans livery, was one of their sponsors, and I'll pop a picture up here. It was really a sharp-looking car for back in the day, and made a huge impact on the automotive community for its achievements. So Tamiya decided to pay homage to it and make a 1/12 scale version of it, which was a very impressive car. It didn't survive well over time as far as collectors, because in today's standards, it was a very brittle plastic. So, these were designed to be driven. These weren't designed to be collector's pieces. So they didn't survive well. So a new in-box one today will collect over $2,000 US, Nice built ones will get over $1,000. And the only other platform they used this chassis on was for a Toyota Celica GT, which I think was a rally car. But yeah, so this is all done in 12 scale. This design didn't survive very long because shortly after that, they started doing everything in 10th scale. It started to be their more standard size for their radio controlled cars. So, the Tamiya community would love to see this come back as like their 50th anniversary, and it's been vocalized by a lot of people wishing for them to bring it back in that form. But of course, then the question is, would they do a true re and redo a chassis that's really outdated and make a bunch of parts unique to that? Or would they do a current chassis and would they spring for the licensing to do the Rothman's livery and all that kind of stuff? But on top of all that, Tamiya has not hinted at it at all. I mean, I'm sure they would keep it a secret up until they were ready to release it anyways, or, release it at one of the trade shows. But nobody knows for sure. So anyways, this leads up to what I'm going to talk about now is Rob Mitchell of Need a Bigger Shed decided he wanted to do a recreation sort of, it's not a reproduction. It's basically his twist on the original and basically how he would make it today with today's technology. So he is involved with L&L Hobbies and then using the body that they have available for the 959. Plus his Need a Bigger Shed business. He does a lot of custom 3D printing. And he's really good at it. Very talented person for designing and creating those pieces. So he's done a lot of detail pieces included with this to help add to the, to take it to that level of what it looked like as in the Dakar version versus just your standard 959. All the features that the Dakar, the rally car had. He also came up with his own packaging. The original Tamiya one had very, very beautiful box art, hand drawn by one of their artists. And so Rob has done that also. I mean, he didn't do hand drawn, but he does a very nice box art, trying to recreate the way kits were back in the day. Those of you who are not familiar with the older kits had very nice presentation, very beautiful box art. Today everything's, heat sealed in a baggie, plopped in a, something the size of a shoebox. But back in the day when they were building these kits, these were really big boxes. And the cover art was amazing. And the way it was presented and laid out inside the box, it was beautiful, compared to especially the way they build stuff today, the way they sell it. So Rob's done his best to try and recreate, that kind of essence of the original. And like I said, he's done a very good job with it. He's been really good at keeping us all in the loop, those of us who have committed to buying one. He opened up the pre-orders about a year ago, not quite a year ago, a little under a year ago, and only selling 100 units. So if you have not ordered one, you're not getting one, because from what it says on the website, it's sold out. So your only really chance of getting one, it sounds like, would be on the secondary market, whether it be like an auction site like eBay or a private sale, something like that. So it's very limited numbers. And he chose the Tamiya MF-01X chassis as the platform for this, which will be in kit form. The whole thing is going to be in kit form. None of it's going to be assembled to my knowledge. So it looks really interesting. I just got an update from Rob this week that he was getting ready to assemble the kit, into its kit form to get ready for shipping. He was just awaiting the chassis, which he should be receiving soon. So I'm hoping this stuff shows up. Maybe we'll start seeing them the end of July. I know he did ship a few initially because he did have chassis on hand for his development. So he put together, I think, 4 or 5 kits and shipped them out already to people who pay, people who put their deposits down early. And it is an expensive kit. I think the retail was $700 and some shipped, US dollars. So yeah, it's not inexpensive. You can definitely see the time and effort and energy and creativity put into this. It looks wonderful. So when that shows up, we will do an unboxing on that and a build. I'm not gonna This isn't going to be a shelf queen. I mean, it may be a shelf queen, but it's going to get built. It's not going to be a new inbox thing. I really want to build one of these because I really wanted one back in the day. So yeah, so next on to updates on Vanquish. Vanquish did their live stream the other day, and they talked about a few new products that are coming out, new wheel releases, which Battleborn, the Sierra, and I'll try to pop a picture up here. It sounds like they're just about ready. They were going to release them on the live stream, and then they decided to change the design slightly or something like that. I think they even started to package them, but I think they said they're changing the beadlock design a little bit. So yeah, they're not quite ready yet, but it sounds like they will be ready soon. And they also talked about, so they secured a deal with Battleborn, who makes, forged wheels for one-to-one real vehicles. And they're also going to use one of their designs called the X-Ray, which is going to be the wheel for Ripper 2. And Vanquish talked about it like that. Initially, it's going to be limited to only available for Ripper 2, and they may try to keep it unique enough that it would only be used for other projects, like on a similar magnitude to Ripper 2, just something that's very unique, but it doesn't sound like it's going to be, the X-Ray won't be like a mass-produced wheel. It'll be set aside for special occasions to keep its uniqueness. They also revealed the axles for Ripper 2, which are aluminum versions, not facsimiles, but very close to the axles on the Optic H10, which they just released. So, which also gets me thinking about what I've talked about earlier. What do you guys think Ripper 2 is going to look like? They're already revealing that they're using some of the designs from Optic. You think it's going to be an aluminum version of Optic H10? Do you think it's going to be its complete own different animal? Which I would love to see it be completely unique of Optic, but we already know for sure it looks like they're going to use the same axle design, which that's fine, whatever. I mean, it's foolish to not use some designs. So yeah, put your thoughts in the comments, what you think the Ripper 2 is going to look like. It was brought up in the live stream, questioned numerous times by viewers about the pricing of it. It sounds like they're trying to shoot for $4,000 price tag or less. They're not committing to that. So, this is just internet hearsay at this point. And it sounds like they're shooting to release for Proline by the Fire. That's another thing. They're saying that's what they would like to have it ready by. Are they going to promise it? No. Are they going to for sure make it happen no matter what? No. If it was more of a, if it works out, it works out. If it doesn't, they're not going to rush it. But they're setting pace to hopefully do something by Proline by the Fire. Sounds like at the very least, just to release Ripper 2 in its, in a completed form to the public, hopefully, if they're not ready to take orders yet or not ready to sell it. So who knows? They're not, like I said, they're not giving hard dates on it, so we really don't know. But yeah, tell me in the comments what you think it's going to look like. You think it's going to be its own unique design? You think it's going to be a version of Optic? Let me know. Also, our Vanquish products, we have an Origin, which we did all gray anodizing. And we also have original Ripper version, the OG. We have chassis number 67 that we acquired recently that we're working on. And by working on, I mean it was never completely assembled. We got it partially assembled with most of the components. I've started working on the wiring. And those of you who know about the OG Ripper, there's a lot of lights on it. There's a lot of wires. It's got, left headlight, right headlight. It's got the light bar in the front, and it's got the rear facing light bar. And then I also added the 1-inch 3-light bumper mounted bar. So yeah, there's a lot of wiring to tie together in this thing. And I'm, due to the value of these things, I'm not just going to zip tie the whole mess together, then plus the wiring for the servo and the wiring for the motor and the speed control and all that stuff. So I'm going to do my best to tuck it away and put it in some sort of protective coating versus just zip tying the whole mess together for presentation. Just to, these things are worth a lot of money now. Let's make it look a little nicer than some of my other stuff. And gray origin, we just painted the body. We're working on the interior today, which it's coming along nicely. It's much better looking rig than it's way more than met my expectations for it. I'm very happy with the colors and how it turned out, and I'll pop up a picture here so you can see what it looks like. But yeah, it's really a sharp looking rig, and we'll put up some more pictures on our Facebook group also. So yeah, that's about it for news. So yeah, expect to see some more of this stuff in July as this stuff starts to show up. Like I said, RC10T will probably show up first. Sometime after that, the 959 will show up, probably later in the month. But in between there, we'll be working on our Ripper, which, also with Ripper, we did get in contact with Freakskins, who helped or did the graphics for Vanquish for the original Ripper, and then helped, then did custom kits for the owners afterwards. And so I reached out to him, and they're going to work with me to come up with a livery for for our Ripper number 67. Also working with JE Designs, and they're going to do me a custom printed, 3D printed radiator for it. Because the radiator that came with the original Ripper, it's a radiator, but JE Designs came up with a 3D printed one that's, very highly detailed, very sharp looking piece. And then he puts the chassis number into it also. So I thought that'd be a nice upgrade. And I also reached out, I forgot the guy's name, but who 3D prints the adapter to put the RC 4-wheel drive receiver box. It looks like a fuel cell, which is kind of a nice upgrade too, because the original Ripper uses an axial fuel cell receiver box, which is all injection molded plastic, which, it's okay looking, but I think the RC 4-wheel drive anodized receiver box is a nicer looking piece. And since there's an adapter available that's readily available, I'm going to do it, since I had a receiver box laying here. So yeah, we got a lot of little upgrades we're going to do it to help personalize it, make it a little bit different than the other ones. So yeah, so look, videos will be coming up on all those projects this month, or meaning the month of July. So yeah, so thank you all for tuning in, and if you survived this long, God bless you for making it this far. If you haven't subscribed, please subscribe. That helps us out the most. And to our subscribers already, please continue to support us by liking, commenting, and sharing. We're coming up on the weekend, all of you. I hope you have a great weekend, and we'll talk to you soon. God bless.